Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Profitability Power Hour. I am your host, Wendy Y. Bailey. Everybody calls me Wendy Y, so I'd love for you to refer to me as Wendy Y as well. I'm excited to be here for another episode of the Profitability Power Hour. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, do a little bit of housekeeping, and then I'll jump into our content for today. I've really been intentional over the last 2.5 years of branding myself as your income acceleration mentor. And it's because I really work with my clients and I'm a beast at helping them double and triple, quadruple, and in some cases, quintuple their income. Is entrepreneurial leaders of service-based businesses and transformation experts. Hello, for those of you who are just joining me, be sure to share the video. Influence, we talk about mindset, we talk about sales skills and how do you develop them. And I'm excited because I get to tell you a little bit more about my book that was just released and tell you where you can get it and how we can connect for more training for you. So let me do a little bit more housekeeping. What you can do is go to there we go. If you want to get the replay of any of the 16 previous episodes, you can go to my Wendy Y. Bailey. That's youtube.com/Wendy Y. Bailey. If you're here, please let me know. I see there are people here. Please say hello in the comments. Because of the tool that I'm using, Be Live, I can't see them, but I'm going to go over to my page on my phone so that I can see who you are and that you are here. If you have questions, you can ask questions as well. If you want to get notified when we go live, you can go to, from your smartphone, you can text. Come on, there we go. You can text Profit Now with no spaces, Profit Now to 38470, and you'll get a text notification when we go live. We're here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. And I usually spend about 20, no more than 30 minutes here sharing a profitability strategy, something that's really going to help boost your bottom line profits, create consistent cash flow, and ultimately sustainable success in your business. So today is, let me find it. Today is episode, where are you? I saw it a minute ago. Episode 18, episode 18. And remember I told you that I was going to give you a little bit of a preview of my book. My #1 best-selling new release in neuro-linguistic programming is I charge for that, Mastering the Mindset for Sales Success. I charge for that is the name of the book, Mastering the Mindset for Sales Success. And in the book, I talk, when I'm telling you what I charge for that really means, I talk at length about value. And there are 5 ingredients that are related to value that I'm going to be covering over the next 5 episodes. Remember, if you're just joining, hit share to share the replay, share the video, hit hashtag replay, like the video to let me know you were here, share it, share it, share it. I'd love for this to really be something that goes viral because people can truly benefit from this. And so the 5 areas of value that I'm going to talk about, one is what I'm going to talk about today. There are 5 ingredients that are really types of value. And it's all about how you show up in your sales process, in your sales conversation, in what you say and what you do. It's all about what sales means for you in the context of this I charge for that attitude. I'm looking just to make sure I'm live here. I do see that I'm live. Good, good, good. Yay, I see myself. I do see that there's somebody here with me. Share the video, ask your questions below, share your comments, your thoughts. Okay, so today we're talking about value. As I said before, in my book, I charge for that, Mastering the Mindset for Sales Success. I talk about value and I give 5 key ingredients that you must focus on being when you're in the sales process, the sales conversation, when you approach your selling in any way, shape, form, or fashion. The first area of value I'm going to talk about is self-worth. Self-worth is different than self-confidence. You can be really confident about what you're doing, but you can question the worth you bring to anything that you do. They're not always in sync, that you're self-confident and you have certain self-value. So when I talk about value in this particular ingredient in the sales process, I'm talking about you have to have a profound belief in yourself and what you bring to the marketplace. You have to have a profound belief in what you bring to the marketplace. You've got to have such a belief that it is unshakable, it is unmistakable, that you believe in what you're offering in the marketplace. That's whether you're selling coaching or you're speaking or you're selling training services or you are having some other kind of services that you're bringing to the marketplace. You have to have a profound belief. It is unmistakable, unshakable. That's really what I'm talking about when I talk about self-worth today. So you've got to look inside and don't take for granted what you believe about your worth. Okay. I might be saying this and you're saying, no, I'm pretty good about myself. I really believe that I'm capable. I really believe that I can do a whole lot. And I really believe in what I'm bringing to the marketplace. But what happens is when you get ready to talk about your fees, with a potential client, when you extend an invitation for somebody to do business with you and they either say, wow, that's more than I'm really prepared to pay, or, is that really what you charge for your services, as though it's too much? You buckle, you bend, you second guess what you set as the fee for whatever you have in the way of services that you're bringing to the marketplace. I was talking with a client recently, and let me say this: in my book, I talk about different clients, but they're all compilations of clients. They're not all clients that I've had at one time, but I've done like a conglomeration and I've changed their names. So if you're a client and you're listening to my stories or you're reading a client story in the book, know that it wasn't about you. Okay, it was maybe you and 2 or 3 other people that I joined together to talk about in the context of the principles I share in the book. What happens is, I was talking to a client the other day, and the client said, I was talking to a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, and my colleague said that I should charge $37 just to get people in the door because they did it and it worked for them. And so I charged $37 for this. And I went, okay, so time out, time out. Is that really what you want to charge? Let's talk about the happy place. And I, with my clients, I talk about the happy place. And for me, the happy place means you're looking at what you're bringing. You're looking at the effort. You're looking at the value. And based on the time, the effort, the value that your program or service or product has, and once the client pays that, you're happy with that price. You still feel good about that. The other scenario is if you're doing a service for a client and you charge a fee and it involves done with you work where you're working with the client. Are you in your happy place if the client is especially challenging, or the client is the client from hell, as I like to say sometimes? They're not really coachable. They're really resistant to change. That's the client from hell. Are you still happy with the fee that you set for it? 9 out of 10 times, I'm telling you, when I ask a client if that price, whatever it is their happy place, they say no. And they have to reevaluate the effort. They have to reevaluate the value. And a lot of it has to do with self-worth, what they think of themselves and what they're bringing to the marketplace in their expertise. So this particular type of value is all about looking in the mirror and saying, let me make sure I'm clear on what I believe. Okay. And there are 5 things I want you to understand about self-worth that are going to help you. Remember, if you're just joining me, to hit like to let me know you were here because I can't see you. Make comments below. Share the video. Hashtag replay. Hey, Sharita, I can see you. Yay, they got it fixed. I'm glad because it was not fixed before, so I couldn't tell who was with me. But I want you to hit like. I want you to hit replay. hashtag replay in the comments, and I want you to hit share so other people see the video. So there are 5 things about self-worth and value, this value type number 1, that's really an ingredient for how you show up in the sales process. So the first one is this, very clearly, everything counts. Everything counts. And here's what I mean. Every conversation, every job, every bit of education, your classes, your training, your education in your college program. Hey, Tasha, Dr. Tasha, hello, glad to see you here. Everything that you've ever done, everything has prepared you to do what you do today. Everything that you've ever done, every conversation, every interaction with a client, every bit of service that you've done, every bit of training, every bit of education, everything you've done counts. Everything counts. So when you think of your self-worth and the value you bring to the marketplace, everything has value. Everything has value. You know, it's a weird kind of example, but I think it applies. You ever been out in public? And I'm from the South. So when you see a child that's misbehaving, you immediately direct that to their lack of home training. That's why everything counts. Because when a child has home training, or when you show up in your expertise, hello, Kenneth, glad you're here. When you show up in your expertise, it's not just because you got education, it's because you got education and you applied the education. It's because before you had the education, you had conversations. While you were having the education, you were doing some additional training. You were having some additional dialogue. You had a job maybe while you were in school and getting your education. Everything counts. When you look at your self-worth and the value you're bringing to the marketplace, everything counts. Okay. Remember, if you're joining me and you have questions, wow, I love that I'm seeing people here. Yay. Yay, yay. So hit like to let me know you were here. I see people are saying hello and I can see your comments now. I love that. And I also want you to share the video. And if you're watching the replay, in the comments, do hashtag replay so I know you were here. So we're talking about self-worth as the first type of value. So the first point I made was everything counts. The second thing I want to say is progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. The goal in your business is to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Okay. And if you're continuously moving forward, at some point you'll realize when you look back over your shoulder that you've come very far. But you've got to acknowledge that there's an effort that you're making to move forward in everything that you do. Move forward. Take a step forward. Take a step forward. Take a step moving ahead of where you were yesterday. And you're not in competition with anyone else. It's really about you recognizing the power you have to take action, one step forward, one day at a time. Sometimes it's 1 minute, 1 hour at a time. But when you are thinking of progress, not perfection, all of a sudden you'll see lots of organic rewards and organic fruit from your labor. Okay. Progress, not perfection. Every time I look at my clients and they are like, I really thought I would be in a different place by now, or I really thought I would be doing something different. And I'm like, well, let's kind of take stock of where you are. And they realize that they've made great strides in what they've accomplished in their businesses. And I want you to feel the same way. When you think about self-worth, think of progress. Yes, you keep moving forward. Think of progress, not perfection. You're not running a race. You're not in competition with anyone but yourself. And your measuring stick is really looking at you and the progress you've made, the place from whence you've come to arrive at the place where you are now. I love that, don't you? So the fourth thing is the third aspect of this self-worth is expectant faith in action. I just saw something yesterday that said Mercury went into retrograde yesterday. And typically what Mercury in retrograde means, if you don't follow it, it means that communication tends to be challenging during this time. Something about how the planets are aligned, and because they're aligned in a particular way, communication is off. So your laptop might not be working right, or your phone might not be working right, or your internet may drop, and all these other weird things happen. When you're in the space of expectant faith It means that you move forward knowing something amazing is going to happen, right? You expect something wonderful. There's an expression, and every now and then I'll post it on social media that says, I woke up this morning expecting an amazing or an awesome day. And that's exactly how it's been. When you sit in that place of expectancy, it really kind of shifts everything for you. So when you expect really, really wonderful things to happen, they usually do, or they're closer to happening in the way that you desire. When we're talking about selling, I want you to understand that expectant faith is about, I'm going to get into this sales conversation in my discovery call, or I'm going to get into a sales conversation with a potential meeting planner for a potential speaking gig that'll get me in front of my most ideal clients. I just know it's going to go well. When you approach it in that regard, you're expecting and you have faith that it's going to be a favorable outcome. That's what expectant faith in action is. It means moving forward, knowing that something amazing is about to happen. This really impacts your self worth and how you show up in the marketplace when you have this profound belief in something amazing happening. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is, and these are some hard ones, these last two, self forgiveness. I have made so many mistakes in my more than 16 years of being in business. I still make mistakes today. It doesn't mean that I've arrived and I no longer make mistakes. I still make mistakes. You can't wallow in the mistakes. What you have to do is forgive yourself, get the lessons from whatever the experience was so that you can apply them, the learning, to moving forward. Okay. So learn from your mistakes, apply what you've learned so that you can keep moving forward with that new knowledge. Dr. Maya Angelou is quoted for saying, you did the best with what you knew then. When you knew better, you did better. So that's really what I'm saying. When you forgive yourself and you don't wallow in the mistake and the guilt and the pain and the shame of whatever it is, then you can actually say, you know what? I got the lessons. So I'm going to apply the lessons, and I feel really, really great about these wonderful new lessons that I've learned. Every single day, I learn a new lesson. I'm telling you, every single day, I learn a new lesson. And I'm so grateful to learn the lessons because they just make me better. They help me to be a better coach. They help me to be a better mom. They help me to be a better daughter to my 87-year-old mom. The lessons really do help. But you've got to forgive yourself and get out of the space of guilt and shame and crucifying yourself to some degree about the mistake and focus on the learning. Okay, focus on the learning. It's really part of self worth that you're like that. And then the last tip I'm going to give you is all about self acceptance. There's some things I do really, really well, but there's some things I do really, really bad. Okay. And the lessons have taught me what I don't do really, really well. And the lessons have taught me to move forward with purpose in those areas that I do really, really well in. Okay. Case in point, I've since I've been in my business, I've always done some aspect of my website. I've even built websites. I know a whole lot of the techie stuff in the back end. But in the last 2 years, I've realized that that is not where I'm working in my gifts. Okay. It's not where I'm working in my gifts. So for me, self acceptance means not doing those things, even though I can, even though I know how, because I'm not working in my gifts. Recently, I'm going to say earlier this year, the person who does my website is one of my business besties. And I told her that my theme on one of my websites had expired, and she, packed up this big file, all these files, this big document, and she sent it over to me by email. And I called her and I said, "So why did you send me that?" And she said, "Well, you said your theme on your website was expired or it needed to be updated." And I just kind of laughed. I said, I'm not doing that, right? Like, I'm not doing that. I've learned the lesson that that is not where I'm working in my gifts. So you need to do that. Just tell me what it is, invoice me, I'll pay for it, because I'm not doing that. Self acceptance says you're okay with the things that you can do and you act on those things that you're really gifted in. Self acceptance says you understand that while you may know how to do something, it's not where you're operating in your gifts, so you don't do those things. Self acceptance means that when you make a mistake, you say, "Okay, Lesson. Oh, yeah, that's part of the self forgiveness. And now I accept that it's okay that it happened because I learned from it. Self acceptance means that wherever you are, whoever you are in this moment in time is totally amazing. Like, you're amazing. Even if there are things that are not perfect, you're amazing and you accept that about yourself. You accept that you may do things like, and I'm going to make something up just for the sake of example. You do things like put on a blue and a brown shoe, or you do things like walk around realizing, long after the time has passed, days and hours into the day, that you have your shirt on backwards or you have your shirt on inside out and you just go, oh, I can be just like that sometimes. That's self acceptance. But when you bring that to the sales conversation, what happens is you enjoy the dialogue a lot more. You feel confident in what you say to extend the invitation to your client to work with you. You are much more in rapport because you're relatable to your client. Your client sees you not as this person that just does everything perfectly, but that someone who is, yes, someone who is, who recognizes that they're not perfect, they're good at something, really good at something, and they can learn from you as a result of how accepting you are of yourself. If you're a coach, your clients want to know that you're relatable. Your clients want to know that you get them and you can relate to them. And the stronger you are in rapport with your client, and this is all about self worth, this is the value of self worth we're talking about. The more you are in rapport, the stronger your rapport is with the client, the more likely the client is to continue working with you, learning from you, wanting to hire you, wanting to access the expertise that you bring to the marketplace. So, I've talked about the 5 areas that are going to help you with self worth. Remember that I told you this is one of the 5 ingredients that I talk about in my new book. In my new book. And what I want you to know is you can join me at the I Charge for That masterclass event and book signing, where I'm going to be signing books. Okay. And I'm also going to be doing a deep dive on some of the concepts and principles that are in the I Charge for That book. It's at a city near you. Go to ichargeforthat.com and you can click on Meet Wendy Y. Next up, I'm coming to Detroit, and I need to hear from you, Detroit, to know that you really want me to be there. Then I'm coming to Philadelphia. Actually, I think I'm doing Philadelphia first. Philadelphia is next month in August. Then I'm going to be in Detroit, then DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And then there are some other cities, and I always lose track of what they are. But I want you to go to ichargeforthat.com, check out the book tour, and go ahead and sign up for the masterclass event and book tour. Any questions I can answer? I see you guys have made some wonderful comments. I love seeing you make comments. Yes, amazing in your own way. Yes, ma'am, Dr. Tasha. Keep moving forward. Yes, Sharita. Hello again, Kenneth. I love seeing your comments. If you're just joining, be sure that you share the video and hit like. And if you're watching the replay, type hashtag replay in the comments. I'm here every Wednesday, you guys. And if you miss something, you can always go and watch the replay of the episode. This is episode 18, and we're going to be doing episodes 19 through 19, 20, 21, 22 will be the other 5 ingredients that I talk about related to value. Yes. Sharita is hosting me in Philadelphia. She and David Simons are going to be hosting me. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Sharita and David again. And I'm looking forward to meeting those of you who are in the Philly area when you come out to the masterclass event and book signing. Remember that I'm here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the Profitability Power Hour. I'd love to hear what you feel like you're walking away from this with today. There have been quite a few people here. I love seeing more people here. Invite your friends, tell them to come out. Yeah, can't wait to receive. Your book is already on its way, so you should get it today or tomorrow, Tasha. I actually mailed it last Thursday, I think it was. So you'll be getting that, or Friday. You'll be getting that very, very soon. They told me it would be 3 to 5 days, and some people got theirs like Saturday. So Go figure. You'll get yours very, very soon. It's on the way. So, I'm Wendy Y. Bailey, known as your income acceleration mentor. I hope you'll join me in a city near you. Love you too, Sharita. In a city near you for the I Charge for That masterclass event and book signing. Again, next up is Philly in August. Go to ichargeforthat.com and get all the details about the book tour. Next Wednesday, be sure to join me. I'm going to be talking about the second type of value related to the I charge for that mindset. So I look forward to sharing more content with you then. And you guys have a good one. Take care. Have a great one. Bye.